Youth Empowerment Performance Project.
I saw a unique group of young people who weren't scared to channel different things about themselves and weren't scared to be heard.
My name is Bermudez, and I am one of the co-founders and the artistic director of Youth Empowerment Performance Project, YEP. I didn't have the privilege to go to the theater or go to the museum or learn how to play an instrument. I didn't have any of those privileges, but for some reason, I knew that something exists for me in the art world. I decided to be an educator and use the artistic skills, the theater, the acting, the movement, the visual art that I learned in my college time and in life, to use all of that to provide safe spaces for people to learn who they were, who they are, and what they wanted to do in life, stuff like that. It became something powerful. It became a little word that is carrying a lot of meaning.
I'm from Chicago, Illinois, and I grew up on the west side of Chicago called Humboldt Park. I still make sacrifices even with doing YEP now because my family doesn't want me to do it because they think it'll go nowhere. Every time I leave the house, I put on a mask. I smile, hey, how you doing, When I come to rehearsal, it's not that I don't have to think about it, but reenacting it was a bit traumatic, a little bit. But the more that I face the fear, it's helped me to overcome. This one lady in particular, this part where I felt that our eyes connected, everything connected, and we both kind of I started crying. I started crying during the show, and so did she.
Wow.
Well, I did go through a stage of homelessness, actually more than once. What brought me to YEP is being closed, where we were all artistic, in some fashion, creative in some fashion, with no real outlet to express it. I think that YEP helps me brand myself. It allows me to use parts of my mind that I don't use in other places. And it's making my brand better.
Say hi to the camera.
For me, I've never been a person who's been well in touch at all with their own emotions. So, for me to go out and do anger or do sorrow or do loss is like feeling it more than I ever have in real life. It makes emotions conscious for me, and that's why I like acting. I think that it's also great as far as advocacy, because I've seen a lot of people and a lot of friends and a lot of acquaintances in really complex situations, and I'd love to be able to help that in a way that also helps me. I just think that's kind of beautiful. Everybody is an individual, and there are people that you can trust with your life, and then there are people who you probably would be better off not putting anything in their hands, but whoever those people are, they're all mixed into every single level of society.
Well, I was born and raised on the south side of Chicago, in a rough area called Inglewood. I actually was arrested for something I did not do. And I think out of everything in my life, that's probably the most stressful thing for me, or the most the most infuriating thing for me because, especially I'm already transgender. So that's 3 strikes. I'm black, trans with a felony. So yeah, I just think that they've actually, not stopped my life, so to speak, because I want to keep going. It's just that, like, made my life more complicated than it needed to be. I would say it was more so emotional abuse than physical abuse, although there was certain times that I was physically abused. I would say the emotional abuse outweighed the physical abuse. When you're an actor or actress, it's much more than just, telling your story or performing a story. You actually have to feel what you're doing or relive that moment in order for other people to get it, or to get a message to other people.
High school, it was crazy because that's when I actually decided to transition. I think I was like almost 17. The way I came out was just basically, like I said, what I had to say. My mom told me that something was wrong with me, and yeah, it was kind of tough because I became homeless after that. And I was just basically like living on the streets and living with friends and stuff. And that's when I kind of met my alternative family, I guess you can call them, my gay family. And I started making an initiative to like better myself as far as like being in school, continuing with school and working and being part of a dance ensemble. But I'm still very much fearful of like my safety and stuff because although I can afford this, is what I can afford right now, it's still not the safest at all. And although my fiance does what he can, but there's only so much he can do to make me feel safe. Because I know at the end of the day, he's just human. I know how ignorant people can be. I know a lot of people from that neighborhood that I live in, they carry pistols. Around there, I'm pretty much fearful of my life and just safety. But I come to this area to feel good and to be empowered and love who I am. And so that's one thing I can say that YEP has offered me. It's offered me a safe place to just be vulnerable.
I grew up in Chicago, a lot of places, like on the west side, everywhere, because my father is a minister, and my father's a minister, and my mother is, I'm smiling, like a heroin addict. I stay a lot of places because my mama tried to keep all the kids, and she couldn't because she couldn't financially take care of all the kids, and my daddy was trying to take the ones that was his. So it's like I live everywhere, back and forth, from being rich to poor, rich to poor, like everywhere. Yeah, I literally went to a different school almost every year. It was hard because like I never had friends, and I always been creative. It's it's cool now, but like nobody could ever understand me because they didn't ever like had an opportunity. So like I didn't never have friends or like got the opportunity to hang out with anybody. I still smile. It's just a habit. Like I just got this spirit that just make me want to just laugh all the time. But that's what it was. That spirit is what like kept me like this. I didn't think I was gonna run into like a group of people of my peers that like actually had sense and had goals. Not to like down the rest of the hood, but like if you really don't see how far you can make it because there's nobody in your neighborhood that is making it, you'll never think you'll make it that far. So it's like just to see them and like their strive and their everyday struggles, because I hang out with them, like it's amazing. Like I really never thought I would meet like young talented people like that. And my father had asked me one day, we was walking from his job, and he was like, why do you always hang out with those fags or whatever? And I don't know, because I don't really like people getting picked on or whatever, because I know the feeling of it. So I just literally spoke up. I was like, well, that's because I'm gay, and that's how I end up having to come out of the closet. Because my father's a minister, and it's like it's beliefs or whatever, but yeah, he's tolerant.
seeing me and how strong I am and like how I don't fall under stereotypes or whatever, it made him and like the rest of my brothers like outlook on gay boys change. The way we move, the way we think, the way we evolve, the way we love. We're here on the journey to discover our past. We're on the journey to discover who we really are.
And it's not just like a healing tool for the people that are involved in the direct process, but also a tool and a space that the community have been using to learn, to create awareness, to come together as a family.